Hello my dear students, welcome to the class of biology. In today's session, I will be solving the NEET level question paper of the year 2018. So let's start with the first question. In the first question, as you can see here, which of the following statement is correct? There are four options. First is, ovules are not unclosed by ovary wall in the gymnosperm. Option number 2 is, horse tails are gymnosperm. Option number 3 is, Selaginella is heterosporous while Salvinia is homosporous. Option number 4 is, stems are usually unbranched in both cycas and centrus. So, this is from the chapter Plant Kingdom, and there we have discussed all this statement. So, which among them is the correct statement? That is the option number 1. It says that ovules are not unclosed by ovary wall in the gymnosperm. That is the correct statement. But option number 2, 3 and 4, these are the incorrect options. So, horsetails, you know horsetails are actually what? These are the pteridophytes, but it is written here that it is gymnosperm. And third and fourth options are also incorrect statement. So, option number 1 will be the correct option. Now, let's see the next question. In the next question, as you can see here, pneumatophores occurs in halophytes, carnivorous plants, free-floating hydrophytes, submerged hydrophytes. So, this is from the chapter Morphology of the Flowering Plants. There we have discussed the modifications of roots, and from there we have got this term pneumatophores. Pneumatophores is a modification of roots in which the marshy areas in which the plants live, like rhizophora, they have to outgrow their roots in the surface of the ground, right, like this, so that they can respire. So, which among them will be the correct option? That is the option number 1. Halophytes is the correct option, right? Now, let's see the next question. In the next question, as you can see here, question number 93. Sweet potato is a modified stem, taproot, adventitious root or rhizome. So, this is a very easy question. We have already got this in the chapter Morphology of the Flowering Plants. So, which among them will be the correct option? That is the option number 3. Adventitious root is the correct option, because adventitious roots are modified for storage of the food, and sweet potato is an example of it. Okay. Now, let's see the next question. In the next question, question number 94, plants having little or no secondary growth are grasses, conifers, deciduous angiosperm or cycads. So, this is from which chapter? This is from the chapter Anatomy of the Flowering Plant. We have discussed there that the secondary growth take place in the dicotyledonous plants, whereas in the monocotyledonous plants there is very little or no secondary growth. So, from this option, which is the monocotyledonous plant, that will be the option number 1. So, grasses are the monocots in which there is no or very little secondary growth, whereas the other 3 options are dicot. So, the plants which are having very little or no secondary growth is of the grasses, because grasses are what? The grasses are monocots. So, that we have discussed very clearly in the chapter Anatomy of the Flowering Plants. I hope you have remembered that part. Okay. Now, let's see the next question. So, in the next question, as you can see here, question number 95. Casparian strips occur in epidermis, cortex, pericycle or endodermis. So, this is also from the chapter Anatomy of the Flowering Plants, and this is the most easy question, right? So, can you answer this question? So, that will be the option number 4. Endodermis is the correct option for this, and we have already discussed in the chapter Transport in Plants. There we have discussed the endodermis, then the epidermis part, and how the transportation take place in 2 different pathways, that is symplast and apoplast. So, endodermis have this Casparian strips. So, option number 4 is the correct answer. Now, let's see the next question. In the next question, as you can see here, question number 96, secondary xylem and phloem in dicot stem are produced by apical meristem, phallogen, vascular cambium or axillary meristems. So, this question comes from the chapter Anatomy of the Flowering Plants. There we have discussed that the secondary xylem and phloem in the dicot stem take place by the vascular cambium. So which among them is the correct option? That is the option number 3, vascular cambium. So with the help of the vascular cambium, it take place the secondary phloem and xylem. So I hope you have remembered that part. This is the vascular cambium and it breaks the xylem and phloem tissue into the secondary xylem and phloem tissue, right? So option number 3 is the correct answer. Now let's see the next question. In the next question, as you can see here, question number 97, you have to select the wrong statement among these 4 options. So the first statement, it says that the cell wall is present in the members of fungi and plantae. Second option is pseudopodia are locomotory and feeding structure in sporozoan. Option number 3 is mushrooms belong to Basidiomycetes, and option number 4 is mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell in all kingdom except Monera. So this is from the chapter biological classifications, and there we have discussed all about this statement, but there is certain mistake in this statement. Which among them is the correct answer then? That is the option number 2. It says that pseudopodia are locomotory and feeding structure in sporozoans. So sporozoan is not the correct answer. What is the correct answer for this statement? That will be amoeboid. Right? So this is the wrong statement. Whereas option number 1, then 3 and 4, these are the correct statement. So answer will be option number 2. Now let's see the next questions. In the next question, that is question number 98, it has said that the experimental proof for semi-conservative replication of the DNA was first shown in a fungus, plant, bacterium or the virus. So this is a very easy questions, and we have already discussed in the chapter molecular basis of inheritance while discussing the DNA replication process. So which among them is the correct option? That is the option number 3, bacterium is the correct answer. So to study the experimental proof for semi-conservative replication, it was first shown in the bacterium. Semi-conservative, have you remembered what was it? It was when the DNA replicates as one for the old strand and the next is for the new strand. So suppose this is a new strand and this is the old strand. So this is the semi-conservative nature of the DNA, right? Now in the next question, as you can see here, question number 99, select the correct match. So we have to select the correct match. First one, it says that Alex Jeffreys, he has discovered the Streptococcus pneumonia. Option number 2 is Matthew Masselson and F. Stahl discovered the Pisum sativum. Alfred Hershey and Martha Chase, he has discovered the TMV, that means the tobacco mosaic virus. And the last option is Francois Jacob and Jacques Monod, they have discovered the lac operon. So this is from the chapter molecular basis of the inheritance. So option number 1 and 2 and 3, these are the incorrect options because the Alex Jeffreys, he has discovered the DNA fingerprinting technique, right? So he has discovered the DNA fingerprinting. So the first option is Alex Jeffrey, he has discovered the DNA fingerprinting technique, and the next is Matthew Masselson and F. Stahl, they have discovered the semi-conservative nature of the DNA. So semi-conservative nature of the DNA was discovered by them. And the next option is Alfred Hershey and Martha Chase, they have given and proved that DNA is the genetic material. And not the protein, right? But in this question these are correctly, I repeat, but in this question these are incorrectly matched. So which among them is the correct match? That is the option number 4. In option number 4 it says correctly that Jacob and Monod, who has given this, lack operon. So option number 4 is the correct answer. Now let's see the next question. In the next question you have to select the correct statement. So the first option is Franklin Stahl coined the term linkage. Spliceosome take part in translation. Punnett square was developed by a British scientist. Option number 4 is transduction was discovered by S. Altonman. So this is from the chapter molecular basis of inheritance, right? But option number 1 and 2, these are the incorrect statement, and in fact the option number 4 it says that transduction was first discovered by S. Altonman, whereas this transduction was given by Zinder and Laddersberg, right? So this is not given in your NCERT book, so this is the correct answer, right? And option number 1 it says that the Franklin Stahl coined the term linkage, but it is the incorrect statement. It says that the semi-conservative nature of the DNA. And in option number 2, spliceosome take part in the translation, whereas the spliceosome take part in post-transcriptional process in the eukaryotes, right? So these 3 are the incorrect statement and we have to select the correct statement. So option number 3 is the correct statement, and it says that Punnett square was developed by a British scientist, that is C. Punnett. Okay, so option number 3 is the correct answer. Now let's see the next question. So in this question number 101, you can see here which of the following pair is wrongly matched. First, it start synthesis in P is a multiple alleles. Exotype sex determination, that is of the grasshopper. ABO blood group is codominance, and TH Morgan is linkage. So that we have discussed in the chapter principles of inheritance and variation. So which among them is the wrongly matched pair? That is the option number 1. In the option number 1, it is said that start synthesis in P, that is of the multiple allelism, whereas it is actually a pleiotropic gene, right? So we have discussed already in that chapter, but it is wrongly matched, and it is said that start synthesis in P is actually a multiple allelism, but it is of the pleiotropy. Whereas the option number 2, then 3 and 4, these are correctly matched. Now let's see the next question. In the next question, as you can see here, question number 102. Offsets are produced by meiotic division, parthenocarpy, mitotic division or parthenogenesis. So that we have got in the chapter reproduction in organism. That was the first chapter of class 12, right? So this is a very easy question. Offset, you know, that take place in the vegetative reproduction, and it is a vegetative propagules. So that is from the chapter reproduction in organism. There we have got that offset is a vegetative reproduction and it is a vegetative propagules. So offsets are produced by which division? That is by the division of mitotic division. So option number 3 is the correct answer. Whereas option number 1, it says that meiotic division, you know what is meiotic division? That is the reductional division. Whereas the parthenocarpy, in which the embryo forms without fertilization, and parthenogenesis, that we have also discussed. So offset is actually take place by mitotic division. So Option number 3 is the correct answer, and we have got this in the chapter Reproduction in Organism. Now let's move on to the next question. So in the next question, question number 103, which of the following flowers only once in its lifetime? Bamboo species, mango, jackfruit or papaya? So this is a very easy question and it is directly from the NCERT textbook of the chapter Reproduction in Organism. There we have got this bamboo species are the one which flower once in 50 to 100 years, right? So bamboo species, it flower once in 50 to 100 years, whereas the other species, they produce in every year, right? So which among them is the correct option? That is the option number 1 is the correct option. Bamboo species are the one which flower once in their lifetime. Now let's see the next question. In the next question, as you can see here, question number 104, which of the following has proved helpful in preserving pollen as fossil? Pollen kit, oil content, cellulosic intine or sporopollenin? We have got this in the chapter Sexual Reproduction in Flowering Plants that we have discussed in class 12, right? So these are the options given. So which among them is the correct option? That is the option number 4. Sporopollenin are the one where any enzymes or any chemical compounds have not been discovered till now for their degradation, whereas the pollen kit, it helps in the pollination process. Pollen kit which helps in the pollination process of the insect, right? And cellulosic intine, that is the outer layer of the pollen, and the inner layer, you know, that is the exine. Sorry, this is intine. Intine will be inner layer and exine will be the outer layer of the pollen. And oil contain, that is also not correct answer. So sporopollenin will be the correct answer for this question. Okay. Now let's see the next question. In the next question, as you can see here, question number 105, which of the following is commonly used as a vector for introducing a DNA fragment in human lymphocyte? Option number 1 is retrovirus or alphaphage or TI plasmid or PBR322. So we have discussed this in the chapter Biotechnology, its principle and process. We have discussed all these different types of vectors, and in fact we have also discussed in the applications of the biotechnology. There we have discussed about the vectors and lymphocyte, that is also from the chapter Human Health and Disease, right? So the DNA fragment which is introduced in the human lymphocyte, the vector which is used for this is option number 1, retrovirus. So retrovirus are the type of vector which is used for introducing a DNA fragments in human lymphocyte. So that is from the chapter of applications in biotechnology. There you will get this term, right? Applications of biotechnology. Alright, now let's see the next question. In the next question, as you can see here, question number 106, the correct order for steps in polymerase chain reaction, that is PCR, is extension, denaturation or annealing, or denaturation then extension then annealing, or annealing then extension, or denaturation, or the fourth option is denaturation, after that annealing or extension. So these are the options given, and we have already got this in the chapter Biotechnology Principle and Process. We have discussed the process of polymerase chain reaction, right? So the first steps in polymerase chain reaction is the denaturation, and in this option denaturation is given here, right? And even in option number 4 denaturation is given. After that what happens? Annealing. Annealing means when the primer used to attach and give the nucleotides in the strand of the DNA, and after that the extension process take place by the enzyme DNA polymerase, right? So which among them is the correct option? That is the option number 4. So, this is the correct order for polymerase chain reaction. Always remember DAE. DAE, which means denaturation, annealing and then extension. So, these are the 3 steps in polymerase chain reaction. Alright. Now, let us see the next question. In this question number 107, you can see here, in India, the organization responsible for assessing the safety of introducing genetically modified organism for public use is Indian Council of Medical Research or Research Committee on Genetic Manipulation or Council for Scientific and Industrial Research or Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee. So, this is from the chapter Applications of Biotechnology. So, there we have discussed all about this term, right? So, which among them is the correct option? That is the option number 4. Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee is the correct option for this question. Alright. Now, let us see the next question. In the next question, as you can see here, question number 108, use of bioresources by multinational companies and organization without authorization from the concerned country and its people is called bioinfringement or biodegradation or biopiracy or bioexploitation. So, this is a direct question from the chapter Applications of Biotechnology, right? So, which among them is the correct option? That is the option number 3. Biopiracy is the correct option for this question. Now, let us see the next question. In this question, as you can see here, question number 109, a new variety of rice was patented by a foreign company. Though such varieties have been present in India for a long time, and this is related to Co 667, Lerma Rosso, Sharvati Sonora or Basmati. So, this is a direct question from NCERT textbook of the chapter Strategies for Enhancement in Food Production, right? So, which among them is the correct option? That is the option number 4, Basmati. Option number 4, that is Basmati, is the correct answer for this question. Alright. Now, let us see the next question. In the next question, as you can see here, question number 110, select the correct match. Ribozyme, nucleic acid, TH Morgan, transduction, F2 into recessive parent, that is the dihybrid cross, G Mendel, transformation. So, which among them is correctly matched? That is of the option number 1. Ribozyme is derived from the RNA, right? And RNA is a nucleic acid. So, this is from the chapter genetics, right? Molecular basis of inheritance, and also from the chapter principle of inheritance and variation. From there, this question has been formed. So, ribozyme is actually what? It is a nucleic acid. It is correctly matched, whereas the option number 2, 3 and 4 is incorrectly matched. Okay. Now, let us see the next question. Now, let us see the next question. In this question, as you can see here, question number 111, Nikkei is option number 1, all the biological factors in the organism's environment. Option number 2 is the range of temperature that the organism needs to live, and the third option is the physical space where an organism lives, and the fourth option is the functional role played by the organism where it lives. So, which among them is the correct option? We have already got this, the term ecological niche in the chapter organisms and populations, right? So, which among them is the correct option? That is the option number 3, the physical space where an organism lives. So, this is the correct answer for this question. Now, let us see the next question. In the next question, you can see here, which of the following is a secondary pollutant? Carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide or the ozone. So, we have already got this in the environmental issues, and also we have got this in the lower classes. So, which among them is the secondary pollutant? That is the option number 4. Ozone is the secondary pollutant, and it forms, this ozone actually forms by oxygen and oxygen atom. So, this is called as the secondary pollutant. So, option number 4 is the correct answer for this question. Now let's see the next question. In the next question, as you can see here, question number 113, World Ozone Day is celebrated on 5th June, 6th September, 21st April or 22nd April. Well, for this you have to know that in the 5th June, the World Environmental Day is celebrated. So, 5th June is World Environmental Day. Then 21st April, National Yellow Bat Day. Then option number 4, that is 22nd April. 22nd April is celebrated as World Earth Day. So what is remaining? That is the option number 2. 6th September is the correct answer because the World Ozone Day is celebrated on 6th September. And all this term we have already got in the lower classes, and the 6th September of the World Ozone Day is given in your NCERT textbook of the chapter environmental issues. Alright. Now let's see the next question. Now in the next question, as you can see here, natality refers to death rate, number of individuals leaving the habitat, birth rate or the number of individuals entering a habitat. So we have got this term natality from the chapter organisms and populations, right? So which among them is the correct definition for natality? That refers to the birth rate. So option number 3 is the correct answer. Whereas the death rate, it means the mortality, then the number of individuals leaving the habitat, that will be immigration, and option number 4, it says that the number of individuals entering a habitat is the immigration. So natality refers to what? It refers to the birth rate. So option number 3 is the correct answer for this question.